Hello, thank you for joining me. Mishka is around. I offered to let him leave the sitting room, but he chose to stay, and now he just doesn't know what he wants, apart from he doesn't want the camera where it is. Come on. That's it. That's it. Right, you settle down. Good boy. Say hello, first of all. There we are. Now you can settle down. It's been one of those days. So, I have been led to talk to you on this video this morning by two things: an apple and a bookmark. They seem to have no links, but they will both come along later. And the title, "The Apple Doesn't Fall Far from the Tree," very often it doesn't. And I mean that because of genetics. Many, many moons ago, we had constructed a patio, okay, when we lived over in Yorkshire. And my ex-husband, shall we say, he was not a DIYer. He would do anything to get out of it. Perfectly happy to leave me to do it. But we decided that the patio doors onto the... Mishka, watch your tail. Oh, I'm going to have to pause. I had to put him out of the room. It was up, down, roundabout, and I couldn't focus whilst trying to make sure he didn't catch his tail on the wood burner. So back to my story. We had decided that we needed to paint the patio doors and the bedroom windows at the top of the house. Okay, I can't remember, but I'm sure I must have at least been part of the painting of the patio doors. Then it came to the bedroom windows. Yours truly had a migraine. And in those days, it meant at least one day in bed, curtains drawn, head thumping, world spinning, stomach joining in for good measure. A good old migraine. Fortunately, touch wood, not that I'm superstitious, I don't get them like that any longer because of my essential oils. So I was in bed, and my husband he said, well, I'll paint the bedroom windows. Goodness me. Pause whilst I sort of stepped back several steps and collapsed in a heap at the same time. So I said, well, don't forget, move your ladder along, but take the tin of paint out. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Those were his famous words. I know what I'm doing, so don't tell me. And I was nodding off to sleep, and I heard this bellow. Dee, come down straight away, come and help me. What? So I staggered down to find him standing at the bottom of the ladders, covered in the white paint, and the patio, the newly laid patio, likewise covered. Get rid of it. I said, well, what did you do? He said, well, I only moved the ladder along, i.e. moved it along without moving the tin of paint. Anyway, long story short, in between having to pause to vomit, I helped him as much as I could. We stripped his clothes off straight into the dustbin, and I left him to clean up most of himself. So that was a Mr. Know-it-all. But as for the apple, okay, It didn't fall from the tree very far because Son and Air has the same attitude. I know what I'm doing. No need to tell me. And when I was helping him to put felting on a shed roof, I was offering him the tools. He said, but I hadn't asked you for that yet. How did you know? I just knew because I've done these things before. You're not the first and you really don't know everything. Anyway, here in this house, well, in this garden, somebody kindly threw a lit cigarette into the base of my hedge, setting what I can only call a conflagration of a holly tree. Somebody knocked. They saw that the bungalow on the main road was nearer. They presumed that there'd be somebody there. And this was sort of early doors, 1, 2 o'clock maybe. Knocked there. They phoned for the fire brigade. The fire brigade came. My friends next door presumed that I was away, and the fire brigade had to hang around for quite a while because the flames were getting very, very close to the electricity wires. Anyway, they sorted it, they damped it down. And my neighbours came round the next day, were surprised to see me there. They said, oh, we're just checking on the other side of your hedge. Why? When they told me, I had slept through it, hadn't heard a thing. And apparently the fire brigade had stopped there for quite some time. So, some while later, this horrible looking stump of a holly tree showed absolutely zero likelihood of throwing any new growth apart from right at the base. So Son and Air offered to cut it down because he happened to have a chainsaw, and I certainly never have and never would have because I'm petrified of the darn things. Okay, he said, right, I'll just cut here and here. I said, no, the other side. I know what I'm doing. I said, you don't. You cut from the other side. You cut a wedge and the tree will fall into the garden. No. He said, well, if you're worried, we'll tie you to the tree. Stupidly, right, okay. So I was tied to the tree and I was, doing the, and he got sawing. And as soon as he started seeing it tip, not into the garden, no surprise there, but towards the road, oh, pull. I said, I'm pulling. Holly is a very heavy wood. It's a big length. I can't hold it. Well, just pull harder. At this point, onto the lane. Go around and see what's happened. I said, I'm tied to the tree and I was pulled into the holly bush. So the once white t-shirt was white with red spots where the holly had attacked me. So I managed to untether myself, ran round. Fortunately, there was no car coming, so phew for that. But there were cars that have come since and were sort of, what the dickens is going on? So my son just said, well, drag it off the road. I said, I can't, it's too heavy. I said, you'll have to saw it. So he sawed it into a few pieces and we were able to drag it off then. So, genetics, probably. Apples falling from the tree, not going very far, definitely. In fact, that Pink Lady one, they have been absolutely delicious. For me, apples have to be juicy and not too sweet. So I shall have that afterwards. And what about the bookmark? Okay, tongue very firmly in cheek. Please, no offence intended. And it does say, just for fun on the back of this. Okay, so I shall say this and then I'll run. Okay, whatever a woman does, she must do twice as well as a man to be considered half as good. Luckily, this is not difficult. Tongue back in cheek. With apologies to any gentleman, I am sure that you aren't all like that, and I'm sure that we women don't all think that. There might be times when we do, but hey ho. On that note, thank you so much for joining me, and I really have appreciated your help and support over the sorting of the channel and the spammer, fisher, whatever. Thank you. But if you do have any problems at any time, just let me know and I can get it sorted. Or if is there any spam that comes through as a message reply to you, then let YouTube know. I have been validated, and I have to say I feel like a heifer that's had a stamp on her rump saying, she's okay, yeah, you can go with this one. And I've now got a tick at the end of my YouTube name, but also on my handle. So if I reply, it's got a tick. So you know it's me, though most people did instantly recognize it wasn't the sort of thing that I wrote. So on that note, I shall go and wash and eat my apple and say take care, take the very best care of yourself that you can, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.